you know, because I wanted to put him down to a better level. Basically, right. And was that example you gave us? Are you speaking to?
Does it work from the, like, does it still work? Can you be able to support you if I go and the same thing? Or does it have to be true again?
You know what? Even if you were going to be sarcastic and ironic, I think you should still act as though it was personal in order to leave this kind of stuff. Right?
Yeah. So let's just say this.
So let's just say it was yeah. Great. I know that you're not me. It was like, yeah, I'm glad you said that. Well, right. You know, because I wanted to put him down to a better level. Basically, right. And was that example you gave us? Are you speaking to?
Does it work from the, like, does it still work? Can you be able to support you if I go and the same thing? Or does it have to be true again?
You know what? Even if you were going to be sarcastic and ironic, I think you should still act as though it was personal in order to leave this kind of stuff. Right?
Yeah. So let's just say this.
So let's just say it was yeah. Great. I know that you're not me. It was like, yeah, I'm glad you said that. Well, right. You know, because I wanted to put him down to a better level. Basically, right. And was that example you gave us? Are you speaking to?
Does it work from the, like, does it still work? Can you be able to support you if I go and the same thing? Or does it have to be true again?
You know what? Even if you were going to be sarcastic and ironic, I think you should still act as though it was personal in order to leave this kind of stuff. Right?
Yeah. So let's just say this.
So let's just say it was yeah. Great. I know that you're not me. It was like, yeah, I'm glad you said that. Well, right. You know, because I wanted to put him down to a better level. Basically, right. And was that example you gave us? Are you speaking to?
Does it work from the, like, does it still work? Can you be able to support you if I go and the same thing? Or does it have to be true again?
You know what? Even if you were going to be sarcastic and ironic, I think you should still act as though it was personal in order to leave this kind of stuff. Right?
Yeah. So let's just say this.
So let's just say it was yeah. Great. I know that you're not me. It was like, yeah, I'm glad you said that. Well, right. You know, because I wanted to put him down to a better level. Basically, right. And was that example you gave us? Are you speaking to?
Does it work from the, like, does it still work? Can you be able to support you if I go and the same thing? Or does it have to be true again?
You know what? Even if you were going to be sarcastic and ironic, I think you should still act as though it was personal in order to leave this kind of stuff. Right?
Yeah. So let's just say this.
So let's just say it was yeah. Great.
Okay. The Stanley parable. Stanley, what are you doing just sitting on the main menu? Get into the game already. Fine. Have the field of view a bit big, yeah. More sensitivity. VSync off. Anti-aliasing, yeah, have it big. No wonder. Forward and back, and then forward and back, and then go forward and back. 1 foot forward. Anyway. Oh god, why do I keep on clicking that? Ah! Go away. I didn't mean to open you. I didn't mean to. There you go. Ooh. We're good. Good game. The end is never the end is never the end. I don't know what I just did. It said click to skip. I didn't mean to skip.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Nah. Good. I'm just gonna like sit down back in my chair. Can I press the buttons? I want to press the buttons. Why is right mouse button walk? What the fuck? I hate Mondays, yeah, so do I. G814-F1 Partition Corp providing partitions for is this say 5 years or 50 years? 58 years? 56 years. Okay, it's easy to read there.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever.
Yeah.
I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Yay!
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the
Oh,
pressure.
okay.
What if he
I
had
see.
to
I
make a
see.
decision? What if a crucial
I see.
outcome fell under his
That was an ending.
responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy.
Let me out.
Forever.
Let me out.
I will be happy. Stanley waited.
Okay. So that was supposedly called the reluctant ending. I don't know how they get the ending names. It didn't show me a name.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Whoa!
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
Yeah, it is.
Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Not really. It's fine.
Then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
I wonder if you can just stay here and stuff will happen. Okay, let's just restart.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, I want to choose the other
At
option.
first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Okay.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable.
Yes.
You too will become quite unbearable.
This is great. All right, we're leaving.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Number one dead. I like work. I just hate my boss. What does that cup say? Mile? Smile, maybe? I don't know. Awaiting input. Input received. Who farted? What the fuck?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Where broke Wednesday? What the fuck? Financial panic meeting. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. What to do about 432? Don't tell 432 about my meetings. What? Okay. Am I 432? Hang on. Am I 432? Oh no, no I'm not. 432 was one of Stanley's co-workers stationed in the building. The Boss Appreciation Minute. On your Boss Appreciation Minute worksheet, circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Fill out in triplicate and return to your Boss Appreciation Specialist. What? This is weird. 402 plus 405. Want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review schedule? But I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers, more water cooler heaters. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to teenage demographic. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. You can add some sort of child trap? What the fuck? Teenagers that die. Space between the teenagers. There is something in the idea of it. Better safe than profits. Rule 1. References. References something not all they're rocked up to be. Are not okay. Yeah, references are. That was an interesting one. Whoa. Hi.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No, I'm good.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
Sometimes that's all you need.
To still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Fuck all.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Hell yeah.
Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
It's comfy. I could sleep in here, probably, maybe. I don't want to, but I could.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
The door was labeled.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
Wow.
He got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is.
Wow.
Drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Wow. Wow.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here.
Sorry,
a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system, and you collapsed on the keyboard.
Sorry, I'll be right back. Sorry, I'm being cold again. And back once again.
Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Oh, this game's great. Okay, hi.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
You sure about that?
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nah. What's this? Can I read that? I wonder if I can read that. Let me open that up. That screenshot. Is the crouch a toggle? It'd be cool if it was a toggle. I can jump. What? I did not jump. Can't jump though. Weird. False advertising. Okay. Oh, I can sort of read it, not really. Letter understands. Here we are. Someone took a very good screenshot of it, because I guess you can pick it up, but I'm just not aware. I don't know how you can pick it up. It says, "Hi, Lonnie. I wrote this in first period and left it in your locker on the way to school. It's what all the cool kids are doing. I've decided, I guess, I don't know. Write me back. Also, here's an idea for something to draw. 2 cats on a motorcycle. Hey, this is a good idea. What all the cool kids are actually doing is sending each other pages on their beepers. But we're cooler than them because guess what? They can't put this on a beeper. It's literally just a it's literally a drawing of a cat riding a motorcycle with a cat behind them, but it's like a humanoid cat driving it. That's great.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa!
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
No. I'm still here. I'm still here.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
This doesn't seem right.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What the hell? Jesus Christ.
Gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So, so that was that the going insane ending? Is that what it is? Yeah, it was.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. That sounds worrisome. Oh shit. I was spamming the jump button, there's an achievement for it. No, seriously, we disabled it. And then we got another one. Getting my first achievement. What the fuck? Business strategy. What? Why?
Stepping in.
Okay, so I'm reading up something. I want to aim for getting all the endings, but I'm also trying not to spoil myself. It's a very risky process. Doing it pretty well so far. So we're originally meant to go in the office, but you can walk out and the manager doors will close on us, but we can go all the way back to our office because all the doors are open for some reason now. Oh, what the fuck? You are now leaving. Escape pod? What the fuck? Where the hell are we? Hey Eric, how are you? Five, 5, 9. I played a lot of Sekiro. Ooh, very nice. Oh, of course. Um, okay, so this is a different one. So we need to go to desk 4.
Gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So 419. Oh. Huh? What the fuck?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hello? I saw someone there. Sure I did. Okay, well, the next one is on 423. So input received, and then we gotta restart.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
the fuck?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office.
Or get
hoping
fired.
He might find an answer there.
Hips for not getting fired.
Going to a
Don't get
staircase,
fired.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Boop. Desk
All his
434.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
And last one. Welcome, Stanley, to heaven. Oh my god. Buttons! Buttons! Oh! Anyway, that was fun. Um. Let's do.
Stanley thought to himself, am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing. For now. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Yeah, of course not. Why would I?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 284. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I wonder what happens if you do that for your first time.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as
Sorry,
though
I'll be
he
right
felt
back again.
more free to think for himself.
Alright, I'm back.
To question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I'm good.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
That's a type of escape when you think about it.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Wonderful.
At
Thanks.
this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward.
I'm not walking
and
forward, though.
willingly confront his death.
Walking backwards. Yeah. Oh boy.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
I keep on getting interrupted.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
The hell? Nature paintings, ah yes, the most important part. Written and designed by Davey Redden and William Poe. Who? Pa? I don't know how you pronounce that, sorry. 22nd century toys. Not the 22nd century yet, though. Based on the work of the Stanley Parable 2013 team. Office clock. Boss's office. That looks like a jail cell. I'm guessing... Whoa. Just lagged there. I'm guessing this is like just the development it took. The lounge. Underground. Narration outtakes. Kevin Brighting, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are clips from early takes that were not used in the final game.
And finally, he pushed the number 6. Let's see. Stanley walked through the green door. Let's see. Stanley walked through the green door. Where were Stanley's co-workers? Oh, I don't know. How about they're throwing a surprise party for him for all his button pushing? Does that sound plausible to you? In the story, Stanley jumped in the river. Still nothing.
Maintenance room. Warzone. What? Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up in a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpret it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. That is amazing. From Sivala, subject final. Well, question brought forth by the intense passion of my soul. Am I Stanley? Are you spying on me? I don't. Why? How? What? Narrator emails. After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Dear narrator, how do you stay in shape? Michael the Rock Martin. I need life advice. Oh, like, are you gay? Regarding your game in the works, I appreciate the previous Stanley game as a work of art and a standalone title. I appreciate the credit given to art, which is why I'm eager to see a sequel, prequel, standalone companion game. Will the Stanley Parable have infinite quests? How many endings? If the Stanley Parable is going to let me go shopping, I hope it will have a fine selection of desert boots. How do you make a JRPG? How do you make the worst game ever? What is the difference between a duck and a what? Duck and a what? How is the game going? I hope it's good or better than the first one from a cool man. Are you a rock? What? What is the strange number? You tell me what the significance of the number 1112800 is. 1112800. Well, the thing I want to know is, what would you do if Stanley entered any other rooms? Congratulations! In line with our previous announcement regarding the ongoing promotion, here is the result of the attached file. Open it carefully and see the full details of the results. Oh, whoa. That was quick. Whoa. Jesus Christ. What is this? Zending model. Zending went through many iterations. This room represents the fourth version of the ending. Thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and change it again shortly after launch. What the fuck is this? I'm so lost right now, I don't even know where I am. Whoa. Oh, I'm back here.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Cool. What the fuck? Whoa! It's different again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The fuck? What the hell?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I'm so confused. This game is weird.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What else was on that dog whiteboard? I taped a thing called dog mode.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
What the hell?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Well, I can't jump over the edge, so I guess I do. Employee observation protocol.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature
Fired.
revealed. Each bore the number
Fired.
of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
It was 432. I don't remember which one's Stanley. Pirate, what the fuck? What do you mean?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Is there meant to be something in this room that I do? There's 3. There's 1. 2. Up there's 4, I believe. Is there more than 5, or? One, 2. 3. I'm not 100% sure if I should be doing anything new.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this
Hello,
machine
Zach.
is
How are
activated
you?
without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood.
Bomb? I don't know. I'm
I'll tell
just
you
pressing
exactly
things.
What happened to them? I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. but I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are
Bomba.
precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you, running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge, it's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
God damn you, narrator. Is the narrator evil? It seems like it. This is my first time playing this game properly, so.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it.
What?
If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
There he is. It's someone else. Does that actually go anywhere? Stanley Parable, someone following. I just want to see. You are the person. What? Okay, yeah, there's no one actually following you. So there's only one more ending in the left hole that we have to get now. It's the proper ending.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
Oh, hang on a second. I failed to do something. Ah!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it...
Oh, I don't like this room.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it.
Oh, what?
Almost certainly 50 clicks.
Oh, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley.
Yes.
I want to see commitment.
Commitment.
A willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost.
I'm committed,
Why don't
narrator.
you go put 20 clicks into door number 417.
417, got it. 20 clicks. Where is it? Where's 417? Where is that bastard? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20!
Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437. Got it. 437. Where's 437? 437's not here. Here it is. 1, 2, 3.
Excellent. I think we're getting
Yeah.
somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give
Oh.
it 10 clicks or so.
10 clicks on 415. Where's 415? 415, where are you? There you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Back to door number 437.
Yes, 437. I wish there was a run button in this game because I'm fucking hyped. 437.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Hell yeah.
All right, back to room 417. I'm
What?
really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Why do you love 417 so much?
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
What? Yes, I got it.
Yes!
Yes.
This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
416. 1, 2.
Almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
The copy machine! Where is it? Where's the copy machine? It's in the other room, isn't it? Here we go! 4,
Finish it off, Stanley!
5 clicks.
on door 430.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5!
Yes!
Yeah!
Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking? When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, that was great. That was great.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
Surprised we didn't get to do the keypad. I want to do the numbers though. Nope, I'm getting called for again. I'll be right back. Took away longer than I would have liked. I am sorry about that.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For
there we go.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
We did it. Beat the game. Hell yeah. But we're fucking back here still. Alright.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
You can still do that.
5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20...
Okay, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna play some Wilds. I was gonna play this game in its entirety, but I think I'll split it up between streams. So yeah.